we will build that toughness and that type of play as we have success. And that's it's unfortunate. We didn't play very well, we didn't coach very well, and that was a really good football team. I mean, they've been all those players are back, and there's some really good skill players, and we knew that going in, and they made the catches, they performed, and we didn't make all the plays we needed to make.
When you went back and rewatched the film, was there an area of that game against Idaho that gave you the most concern, or you were most disappointed with?
I mean, there's so much that we still need to get better at, but eye discipline on defense is a humongous thing, and it never has not been, and it gets against teams that do a lot of things and a lot of sleight of hand. You got to have great discipline, and you have to have players that trust what they're doing. On offense, you have to execute in big plays. We got a takeaway after the first big play. We came right back and got a takeaway in our end of the field, and we got down inside the 10, I think, and then we had two straight busts by just one guy that went the wrong way on a snap, and a lot of that is the next play. One lineman went the wrong. It's things that when you trust your technique, you know what you're doing inside and out. You've been coached really well. You don't make those mistakes. And when you've been together a while, that stuff becomes easier. And right now we've got to overcome, and we got to coach those things better, and we've got to make sure that the package that we go into games with, that we can execute. So, go ahead.
Was it a shock factor what happened on Saturday? Because obviously you prepare all week, for a game, but the way it unfolded, was it shocking from where you were on the sideline?
Well, I think shocking. I mean, I think the first play, I wasn't shocking. It was really good, well executed play action pass by them. What was shocking about it is that it went 80 yards, and the guy's not making a play and just getting it on the ground, because once we were in the game and we got, we made tackles, got them to drive, we had 5 field goals by them afterwards, and we had a lot of times that the defense went out on our end of the field and came away with field goals, and then they got us, they got a young guy on the the tight end hiding in the tackle spot. They got him on that, but you're gonna get those plays in a year. Shocking is when a play that they're going to get you on and should be a 15-yard play turns into an 80-yard play, but the very next defensive play, we got a fumble, so it didn't shock the kids. They came right back out and they hit their running back and he fumbled and we got the ball back. We had a chance to go 7-7 right there, and that would have made it a whole different ball game had that happened. And yet we came back and we were in the game for a long time. And then you get into the second half, you start pressing. Guys are, they're trying to do more than they needed to do. They're pressing out there, and sometimes that snowballs, and that's a learning experience. I wish we had played better. I should have coached better, and we're going to learn from it.
You mentioned a couple times that coaches need to do a better job. What specifically did they have to do better to put the players in position to be more productive on the field?
Yeah, we've got to convince our players, coach our players, and put a scheme together that they can execute under adverse situations. Anybody can execute on Wednesday and Thursday in practice, and we work a lot. Guys that come watch us practice, we work a lot in adversity, making the coaches call the practice and not looking at scripts and putting guys in those situations. And yet, until a young team has been in those situations and coaches have been in those situations, you have to know in advance and coach them to the last guy on your 11 that's out there, to make sure all of them can do their job in those situations. And sometimes that's easier said than done, but as you learn each other, you learn your team. Those are the things that you do, and we got to learn to do that a lot faster than we did on Saturday.
You played a couple quarterbacks that are because of a little injury throughout the game, or maybe because of other reasons. What's been your assessment of the quarterbacks and moving forward? What do you need from that position?
I thought the 2 quarterbacks, I think that they're growing play by play. We haven't played 2 just because we wanted to. Brendan lost his helmet the one time, then he got hit in the chest and he lost his breath, and it took him a little bit to get it back. And while he was getting his wind back, AJ was moving the team right down the field. So we didn't want to just jump back in it, but I think both those guys have had their moments. in the second half when Idaho was getting a lot of the momentum in the game and we couldn't get it back. I think both those guys that were in there, they pressed a little bit and tried to make plays that if they had to do over again, they would just check it down to one of our running backs and let them get the first down. And they were going for, you're not going to score 21 points on one play. You got to get them down the field, and that was a great learning experience for those guys. And if we could have stayed closer and not given up that a 3-and-out right after half and then a touchdown, we were right within a 7, 8, 9 points there. I think they would have handled that a lot better. But when that happened, I think they wanted to make more plays because they're really competitive guys than they needed to do, and they'll both learn from that. But we like all four of our quarterbacks, but Brennan's our quarterback, and as long as he's healthy, he's done a really good job. And when AJ's had to come in there, he's done a good job at times. So we just got to continue to get better with those guys.
You've been in the coaching ranks for a while. What do you draw from in tough instances like this where the wins aren't coming as of right now?
I told my family this. I'm like, if we thought this was going to be easy, we wouldn't have taken the job. I mean, if we took this job knowing that there were going to be adversity. There's adversity in every job, and I don't make decisions on my career, my life, on a day-to-day, one game, one practice. I just don't live that way. I'm a positive person. I'm here to build this program, and I know the players. They felt it in the locker room. We practiced really well on Sunday. They were all in there this morning, and they know this is a process, and we are going to win sooner than later. And that's. If it was like, if it's going to be the easiest situation in the world before you take a job, there's not many of those jobs out there. So this is a place that we loved, and we know we can build this program. We have a plan, and 2 or 3 texts or a tweet or a Facebook post, that doesn't affect what I do on a day-to-day basis.
You did have a pretty good crowd, almost 20,000 people out there. I guess for the fans who came out and were disappointed in what they saw, I guess what is your message about continuing to support this program and your guys?
Yeah. So, I thought it was a fantastic crowd for an afternoon in the middle of September. I mean, it was great. It was loud in there. It was the start of what we want it to be, and ups and downs. It's going to get better. Our team is going to get better as these guys play together. We're going to coach them better, and we've got a really good opponent coming in here Saturday night, one of the better ones in the country, and we've hit some really good football teams here, and that over the long run is going to make us a better football team. And I think it'll be good for our fans to come out and watch that game and watch us improve and watch a really good football team from the Big 12.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Kansas and their strengths?
There's a lot of strengths. Again, we got another quarterback that can run, throw, keeps his plays active. If you come out of coverage, he's going to find open guys. I mean, we faced a couple of kids that could really do that, and they've got 3 returning receivers that all caught over 45 balls last year. They're all back. They got 5 tight ends that are all back. 4 of their 5 starting offensive linemen are back. I think Lance Leipold's done a great job building that program, and it's a compliment to him coming into a program and building it and believing in his system. And I think defensively they're very sound. They do a lot of things that our guys do on defense. So our offense has seen some of those looks. They play exceptionally hard. They haven't been challenged a whole bunch on special teams because they've kept the ball a lot. So, it's a exciting brand of football. They're in the Big 12. They'll compete for the Big 12 championship, and we get a chance to have them in Mackey Stadium. So it's another really good opportunity for my team.
As you well know, Coach, they got a pair of guys ejected for that first half for targeting in the last game.
Yeah.
How does that affect your preparation when you get them, or you don't get them the first half, but they're right back there in the second?
Yeah, I mean, our offensive guys are game planning, and I'm sure that there may be a protection issue, but there would have been that way anyway. Those guys, when they're on the field, even on defense, a lot of guys take breaks, and you got to know who's out there at all times. But certainly nobody wants to have guys out of the game for targeting. We coach the heck out of that at all programs, and sometimes it just happens, and you have to go on. And yeah, they're going to have those guys, but they also USC had a guy out, 2 guys out in the first half. So once the game starts, all you're noticing is the personnel and our guys up in the box, tell our guys who's in the game and where guys are that we're keying on, and that'll be the same thing, in the first half of this game and the second.
I don't think we've seen Henry get so far this season. What's his?
He's still working with the NCAA. So we're hoping to get word. I know there's guys all over the country. It's a little bit different situation because we felt like he was coming back to the school of origin. He's only been in the transfer portal one time. He came out of a junior college after he left, and he's got his brother and family on this team. We felt like we have a different situation than a lot of the two-time transfer guys, and we're hoping that the NCAA sees it in that way. He's not a guy that has just jumped in the portal twice like some of the players, but that's the NCAA's decision. We can't push him any faster than we're pushing him. We certainly hope to have him this week. He's been practicing. We've had him on both trips in case the NCAA and we're in a 18-day window now. I think that we're somewhere in the middle of that 18-day window of when they have to make a final decision on him, whether he can redshirt or whether he plays this year. He would certainly help us out there. He's a quality player, but the guys out there got to get better, and we know that either we have him this year or next year, and we don't want to waste too much of his year sitting on a sideline. So we're just waiting on the NCAA on that one.
So what their ruling is when he went to the junior college, he went to the Division I portal first?
Their ruling is the new rule after he was already in the portal. The NCAA made that new rule this year that they were not going to give immediate transfer to people that had been in the portal twice or had transferred from Division I schools twice. When Henry was taking his official visits to everybody he was taking it to, everybody was under the impression that because he had never been in the portal, he would be be classified as a first-time transfer portal guy, and that's what we're working through right now with the NCAA.
Blackwell wasn't able to play this last game. Is that a long-term situation?
He'll be good this week. Yeah, we just we didn't want that thing to become chronic. His shoulder is a repaired shoulder that's really good, was really done well, but he tweaked it a little bit, and we want to make sure that we did not have him at half speed for the whole season. So we let him have a week to his unhappiness, but we didn't even let him get in his pads on Saturday. He practiced. We didn't let him get in his pads because I didn't want him running out there and doing something because he cares so much about playing football. So he'll be ready to go this week.
We'll give you optimism for the remainder of the year. There's a lot of season left, and you said all the goals are still out there.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since you guys have won a game, but what gives you that optimism?
Well, I practice with these guys every day. I see their faces every day. I see how hard they work. I see how hard the staff works. We have a plan. We have a plan that's worked, and my optimism is I see those guys out there working hard, and they don't bend. They don't break on things. They have a hard time learning how to fight adversity in games, but they fight like crazy in practice and in classwork and everything that we ask them to do. So I feel like my optimism is my players and my coaching staff. All right, appreciate you guys. They're killing us on game plan day. We had a staff meeting. We had all kinds of stuff. Trying to catch up right now.